Okay, so this is the first video, and the reason I haven't changed my shirt is because it's just a few minutes after I made that introductory video. So I want to jump right in, and we're going to talk about relationship marketing. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why it's so effective. Now, I have a cheat sheet. You can see it right here. It's just underneath the camera, and I've got it to keep me honest, to stay on track. So why is relationship marketing so effective? First of all, what is relationship marketing? There's a saying, like it or hate it, it goes like this: all things being equal, people will do business with a friend. All things being unequal, people will still do business with a friend. So people want to do business with their friends, is my take from that saying. I talked about go for no being nonsense in the introductory video. And I hate to say nonsense. It's so not for me. I am not in that 2 to 5% of people who can handle that much rejection. I don't want to, especially if there's a better way. And so there are kind of three reasons why I think that go for no is a bad approach. Number one, because like I said, it's self-centered. It's about me and what I need as the salesperson. Number two, it damages relationships, your personal relationships, be it with family members or friends or whomever. And if you're involved in network marketing, which is where you get the most of this kind of thing, and network marketing spans a lot of different industries, it damages the reputation. Network marketing is not inherently bad at all. It's actually kind of good if you think about it in its purest form. So compare that to relationship marketing. It's, number one, focused on others. Number two, it helps you to build and deepen existing or new relationships. And it also helps you as a person to develop your reputation as a trusted professional. So doesn't that sound better already? I know you don't know how it works. So let me give you what the definition, I'm going to read it right here, of relationship marketing. It is a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. That's what it is. Is that all that it is? No. But that's a big important thing. It's also a lead generation system. You will be generating your own leads through relationship marketing. We bring value to others first. It will come around to more, you'll see that. Through that, we're able to create predictable and reliable results. And what's involved as the first step? Developing and deepening relationships on a daily basis. It's paramount to any business owner. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you do it. We're talking about doing it in a specific way here, but try to tell me that's not true in any kind of business. Okay, so let's see, where are we here? Continuing along. Over time, what we're going to do is we're going to turn relationships into advocates. I'll take it a step further. Let's say, and it's hard to know because people in sales are in a broad variety of different things, but let's say that you work for company X, and when you're talking about selling to people, there are two different types of people, and you'll see in a minute that it's actually two types of people that you're trying to approach. Number one is somebody who will buy the products or services. Number two is going to be somebody who wants to do what you do. So you're building a team. So they have different names. Let's call one of them just a customer, and we'll call the second one a builder. But there's a third type of a person, because let's say that you're doing, credit repair. Let's say you're involved in some kind of a credit repair network marketing thing. I know it exists because I see people out there that are doing that. I know nothing about it, but I do know, me personally, my credit thankfully does not need to be repaired. So I can meet a guy who is the greatest guy in the world. I love the guy to death, but I don't need my credit repaired. So what? How am I going to be a customer? And I've already got my 24 hours a day filled up. I don't want to do that. I've got things that I feel are productive enough that I do with my time. So I don't want to sell, or however you want to phrase it, credit repair. But if I really think this guy's such a great guy, and if I think it's a good thing to repair your credit if and when possible and needed, then I will become an advocate of his. Maybe that's his third choice, but that's a lot better than somebody who's looking the other way, not paying attention. So what am I really saying is that every relationship, if that person truly is your friend, you've developed a relationship, at a minimum, they will be your advocate. That's a nice thing. It's not kumbaya nice. It's a very practical thing. Okay, I don't want to hammer that one to death. So let's see, where are we? What's it going to take? I mean, how do you get it so that, let's say you get a Facebook friend request, or you request someone to be your friend, you've got a new Facebook friend, and you start having a conversation with them, maybe through Facebook Messenger. And you develop, hey, do you have any kids? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever you talk about. I don't care what you talk about, although I'm going to get into that. But you have established a relationship. You've got a conversation. Let's say you had a great conversation going on. Trust is an essential factor. And people don't trust strangers, but eventually you're going to build trust. In fact, there are three things that anybody, when they want to do business, that they care about. Three things only. Without, or I should say, in the absence of one of these things, the likelihood of doing business with this person is very low. So, question number one that this person asks himself, can I trust you? Question number two, do you care about me? And question number three is, are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? If the answer is no to any one of those, it's not looking good. So those are important things that you need to keep in mind, that you need to know about. So how do you build trust? That's the next question. There are a few different things that are required. And again, we can't skip any of them, but I'm going to talk about the key things. Number one, chemistry. So what do I mean by chemistry? Pretty straightforward. People who have common ground with you. You've got a mutual interest. So let's say that you like racing go-karts, and so does this other person. Well, you've probably got some stories, and they probably have some stories, and you share the stories, and you're really enjoying each other's stories, and you're enjoying telling it to them. You're having a good conversation that's got nothing to do with business. You're talking about racing go-karts, which is not your profession. It's just a side thing you do for fun. You're having a great time talking to this person. You have some chemistry. Okay? Next thing, character. Okay? Character, people seem to think that character is like a possession. You know, something that, I've got character. I don't think it's really like that, and I'm going to read to you what I've got. When you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable, that's what I mean by character. It's not something that you have. It's something that you choose to do each day and that you demonstrate every day. And how relatable are you, by the way, particularly if you're successful in what you're doing? Okay, character, these are the things I'm talking about when it comes to character. Let's keep going. Competence. What is competence? Seems self-explanatory, but it's when you demonstrate you're good at what you do, that you're a business person. Do you really understand a person's problem, or do you just have an agenda? I want them to buy something. I'm going to flip over my little sheet here. Okay, we're almost done with the video. I'm not going to put you through too much more in one video because I am trying to keep them short. So if you are relatively new, then you can't prove the same things as a seasoned veteran in your business, but you can share someone else's journey. You can say, hey, I just got into this. It looks good. Let me show you why. If you like it, let's do this together. We got some great leadership or whatever it is. Okay, the next point, the last point, consistency. Consistency is so important. I teach this to my children also. I feel like consistency is probably one of the two things that is the most important in your success in anything. So in this context, what do I mean by consistency? Number one, are you what a lot of people call a product of your product? In other words, do you believe in what it is that you're selling? Because if you don't, man, you're in the wrong line of work. Okay. Are you consistently investing in others? Are you creating new relationships? Are you staying in touch with existing relationships? This was a big problem for me. There is a contact relationship management system called Teamzy, Teamzy, and I learned a lot from this. The reason why I found it to be of interest when it caught my eye was that I've got a mess, and I am generally a very organized person. I take pride in how well organized I am, but I need to call this person back, and I really should follow up with that one, and I wonder what's going on with that one, and this one kind of threw me for a loop. What should I, when should I get back to them? What should I say? That kind of thing. And it's a cohesive system that I don't spend a minute sitting around thinking, what do I do next? That is exactly what I needed. But they also embrace relationship marketing more than you can imagine. And I will tell you, it works. It works. Okay, so this is not an ad for Teamzy. I mean, you can use whatever you want to use. Maybe some of you aren't going to need it, but it is about relationship marketing. There's an example of, let's say that you got a handwritten card in the mail or delivered to your door somehow from somebody, and they wrote you a really nice note. Maybe it was a thank you. Maybe it was a birthday card. There was something a little bit extra, but it was handwritten. And that, I've got a shoebox at home. That kind of thing goes into my shoebox. That, it hits me right here. I like that kind of thing. Whereas my dentist, not to pick on him, but I get a card from him every year right around my birthday, wishing me a happy birthday, but it's a printed thing, and I think that's very nice that they send it to me. However, it doesn't make it into the shoebox. It makes it into the circular file. Why? Because it doesn't pull on my heartstrings. The handwritten note, that somebody made an effort. They took some time to do that, and they spoke to me. They spoke to my soul. I don't mean to be like that, but what I'm saying is there was a lot more involved with that. So the last thing I want to talk to you about is, if you've been doing any kind of sales or marketing for any amount of time, you have probably burned some bridges. I know I have burned my share of them. You burn bridges maybe without meaning to. And I'm not going to get into all the different ways, because either you know what I'm talking about or you don't. If you don't, you will burn some bridges, and then you'll know what I was talking about. But I'm going to teach you a very simple method for how to deal with that when you feel like you've burned a bridge. That's not going to be in this video, but basically what it is an apology and an explanation. And things are maybe not as far gone as you thought. I've told, again, getting back to my kids, I taught my kids at a young age a couple of things. Number one, an apology doesn't cost you anything. But another thing, I don't know who said this originally, but to apologize to somebody does not mean that you're admitting that you were wrong. But rather, what it means is that you value the relationship with that person more than you value being right. So I'm going to leave it here. That's kind of my broad view of this is what relationship marketing is. Ultimately, the end goal is to get to a sale, of course. But you're not going to get to a sale with everybody. So it's back to those three things I spoke about. When you use this technique, you don't make anybody angry, you don't alienate anybody, and ultimately, if you're doing it right, The person will be potentially a customer, or maybe a builder, that's a term we decided on, or maybe an advocate of yours. And they will bring you business in the same way that a good friend who believes in you would do. That's relationship marketing. And it's the end of this video. Have a great day.